Your destination is on the left.
I'm gonna sit down with this guy. There he is, this guy, and learn a little bit more about him.
Here's Corin.
They're all running.
They're all running.
2 red lights.
Nice.
2 red lights.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
I know, brother.
thick today. Good to see you, man.
How you doing, man? Good to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. I'm Corin.
I'm Lou.
Lou.
Yes, sir.
Positively.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful to meet you, Lou.
I heard a lot about you.
I can't believe you're wearing jeans today. That's a brave man.
I'm a jean kind of guy, man. Come on.
I mean, I got all kinds of of holes in my hat. I could strain spaghetti through this, and I'm still sweating. Woo. How's your day today?
It's been pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah?
Not bad at all. Dug a hole, filled it back up.
Sounds like my life.
Dug a hole and filled it back up.
Where are you from originally?
Born in Bethesda, Maryland.
Okay.
Raised in Biloxi all my life.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, so how you weren't in Maryland for too long?
No, my father was in the Navy and born in the Naval Hospital.
Gotcha.
And I'm 61, so I've probably been on the coast for 60 and a half years.
Gotcha. And what
Yeah.
in the Navy? What was his
Yeoman.
position there? A yeoman.
Yeah, he was a yeoman.
Right on.
Don't ask me what ship. I have no idea.
That's right, but a yeoman, I just love the name.
Yeah, he was a
It's
yeoman.
kind of spelled like Yow Man, right?
Yow
Isn't
Man.
it?
That's pretty good.
And did he end up retiring out of the Navy here, or?
Yes, he's from Biloxi also. He was born
he
in
was,
Biloxi. My
okay.
mother and father were both born in Biloxi.
Yeah, we might get a little,
Liquid sunshine,
a little
man.
bit, but
Liquid sunshine.
we're gonna keep it moving anyway, because I can see that it's not hitting any of the lenses.
Right.
So when he got down here, he was coming home. How old were you then?
I think now what Mom tells me is we came straight from there, Bethesda, and I think we lived in Richmond, Richmond, Virginia, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was probably maybe a year old when they brought me to Mississippi.
Yeah.
Now, and both my sisters were born in Mississippi, so I'm the only one that wasn't born in Mississippi.
Wow. Okay. So, what and what did your father do after he got out of the Navy?
Good question. Dad was, a jack of all trades. He did a lot of things, and there's an ongoing joke, when they said, your dad was the milkman.
Yeah.
My dad really was the milkman. So he did it all. He wound up doing that for several years, and then he went to work out at Ingle Shipyard, and he started on the bottom with the broom. And he wound up retiring half-hat. He did that for 17 years. But we've been on the coast the entire time. So.
How was life like growing up at that time? It sounds to me like he was kind of like jumping between jobs, doing quite a bit of things. Was that tough on growing up or family, or was it?
Not really, because Dad was a provider.
Gotcha.
Mom really didn't have to do a whole lot when she was growing up. But what I can recall, Dad went from the most job I can remember him as the milkman, and then I remember him at Ingle Shipyard.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we lived a pretty decent life. It wasn't, champagne and caviar, but we did good because, evidently we were down at one of the housing projects.
Uh-huh.
We stayed there for a little while, and then we moved into a trailer behind my grandmother's house, which is on the point.
Okay.
And we stayed in there for a long time until Hirrican Katrina, and they kept teasing us about going into the big house. We're going to move into the big house.
Right.
And that's the house I showed you.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so we went from the backyard after Camille into the big house. So I spent up until 10 years old, because Camille hit in 69.
Wow.
So we stayed in the backyard in a nice trailer. They provided very well for us. They really did. So we go from the trailer into the big house.
Yeah.
The kids always called it like that.
Well, normally the big house means something
I know,
different.
right?
It's, I don't want to go to the big house.
I don't want to go to the big house. But we all made fun of that, We get to move into the big house and live with Grandma, because I think we were in the trailer when my grandfather passed, my mom's dad, in that house. Man, you're going way back, dude. Come on.
Come on. That's what it's about.
Of Corky, come on.
He found out my nickname.
Can you tell me what you had for breakfast yesterday? No.
I
no,
had
I mean-
a croissant, an egg sandwich with some bacon and some cheese and
Well, there you go.
avocado on it.
Yeah, there you go. But no, I mean, I do remember growing up at the projects, and then I do remember moving to the Point
Yeah.
on Pine Street, and basically that at the time that was the heart of the Point,
Yeah.
Point Cadet. That's pretty much where it all went.
1 second, let's pause right there. Battery dead?
We said beep beep beep.
Oh yeah. Get that as well. And is it running? Can you stop in there? You sure? Okay. Make sure.
That's your guy. Got you.
Well, we're back.
We're back.
Just a minor flaw in battery charge.
So where were we?
We were way back.
I know.
Um,
I think we were at the big house.
you were at the big house,
Yeah.
which sounds to me like I always think of those kind of transitions when I was a kid, like when we went from, because I didn't realize how crappy the apartment complexes were
Right,
that I
right.
lived in until I got much older,
Right.
and went back to some crappy apartments. I was like, wow, this is where I lived.
I know,
I was
right?
like, but I remember when there'd be like what we would call side grading. You know what I mean? But,
Okay.
but you know, like for me and when I was growing up in the apartment, so we'd side grade into something a little bit better, and it was like so exciting.
Sure.
You know, when you were a little kid, you remember like being excited to get out of the back trailer and then into the main house.
I think what that was about, because there's small rooms in trailers. I don't know if it was a single wide. They built a front porch onto it, and it was called a cabana.
Yeah.
Like some people in Florida call it a Florida room.
Yeah.
But we called it a cabana. So that gave an additional, and it turned into a living room and stuff like that. But yeah, when you go from a little small trailer living room, kitchen area, to the big house, the smallest room in that house was 14 by 14, 12 foot ceilings with 7-foot door casings. That was the smallest room in there.
Wow.
I mean, it goes so far back that for the restroom, my grandfather rolled it through the yard and connected it to the house. So my mom grew up with literally an outhouse. So he decided in his infinite wisdom to roll it on logs and connected it to the house. Ran the sewer, the water.
Right.
Yeah. Now I didn't.
So you
know
still
about
had to
that.
go outside to use.
No,
the
I
bathroom?
didn't know about that.
Oh, okay.
No, because they connected that to, which was an open back porch.
Gotcha.
And they closed it into a screened-in back porch.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, you'd have to go out to the kitchen and then turn and go to the restroom. But I think after Camille, they closed it in and made a den out of it.
Gotcha.
And you didn't have to go outside no more.
And what was life like growing up for you there in that house? Was it a?
Oh, that was a trip. Like I said, going from a small room to a bigger room. And the room that I was in the back of the house. And I want to say Mom told me originally that was another kitchen.
Okay.
Because the people that actually built the house were from Louisiana when they built it back in 1890. They owned a furniture store and what have you. It was like a summer home for them, okay? So that area back there, I think it was almost split up, because they had a main kitchen and then you had a little smaller kitchen. Because I remember seeing the old flue back there, like for the furnace.
Yeah.
For the, it might have been a wood stove. Who knows? It
Right.
might have been a wood stove back there. I don't know. But Dad left that in there,
That's pretty cool.
and it still had
Yeah.
the little chimney on the top.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
But that was my room at the time. And
Sounds
then
like a cool room.
as we got older, well, my oldest sister.
Sounds
she
like
got
a
to
garden gnome's room.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. My oldest sister got to go upstairs. They turned that into the kids' playroom and what have you, and then had a bedroom for her. My little sister had a nice sized room, and then I don't know if my little sister ever got the chance to go up or not,
Yeah.
but I know I did.
What kind of things were you doing like with your pals and stuff like that? What was life
Oh,
like
man,
for you outside the house?
We were bad.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, to borrow a phrase from you, when you heard about the big house,
Yeah.
we didn't think about a big house.
right.
But no, we were just a typical teenage hellions, man. I mean, we ratted the streets, and sure, I got in myself a little trouble here, a little trouble there. And I don't know if I shared with you before I met you. I might have had, but we didn't really know each other.
Yeah.
But it was either, as I got older and graduated high school, it was either join the law or be against the law.
Right.
So I did the right thing and I joined the law. I went and worked for Biloxi PD.
Gotcha. How many years?
A little over 10.
So at that point, was that during high school you kind of made that decision with yourself, or just out of high school?
I would say the senior year of high school, 1978. So it was the senior year of high school, and I just kept going back to friends that I grew up with, seeing what the road that I was on,
Yeah.
and not wanting to follow that road. And I don't know why I got bit, but I got bit with it.
And what years were you a Biloxi PD officer?
Officially, from 78 to around, I want to say, closer to 88, maybe a little bit before that. But yeah, officially, unofficially, right in high school.
Okay.
Because I was 18 in high school, so I was able to do, I wasn't able to carry a weapon until
David and Mary.
yeah, I wasn't able to carry a weapon until I was 21.
So you were like, what was the name of that? What was the name of that
21
show?
Jump Street.
21 Jump Street.
Yeah,
You were 21
something like
Jump
that.
Street, way before 21
Yeah,
Jump Street.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
But
What
no,
was it? What was it like being a cop back then, from 78 to the early 80s?
Believe it or not, back then we believed in those two words, serve and protect.
Yeah.
We believed in that. And, we had a lot of respect back in that era
Yeah.
because we respected the people. I'm only 5'4".
Yeah.
Almost didn't get the job because of that. Seriously. I'm not going to name his name, but I had I'm not going to say his name, but I had a protector, a guardian, if you will, that when he found out that they were trying to play the game of height,
Yeah.
they said discrimination. Okay, that was the end of it. And very influential man in Biloxi. Because when I went to the academy,
Makes me feel bad about the gnome comment earlier.
nah, you're fine. You're fine. When I went to the academy,
I'm out.
Hang on, guys. Take a look.
Yeah, it's not bright anymore.
Let me see
Now
where
it's
you are.
bright.
Let me see
No.
where you are.
The white
you got a
balance
white
is
shirt on.
Oh, yeah, let me see where you are.
You got a white shirt on.
So
It was doing that
Walks in
when they were
frame.
doing it in office. It was doing that.
You guys were dark the whole time.
What was that?
yeah, so walk back.
You guys are dark the whole time. I don't want you to waste it.
Oh, wow, yeah, I
We
did.
could move to the other corner and get better light on yourselves.
Make sure my headroom's all right on this one. Sometimes I cut myself
You
off.
were a
Right
little,
here.
you
But
were,
am I around here? That's all right.
you were a little closer to me. Man. Don't get
Oh, go and find it somewhere. It's in there.
Need something to put on
Anyway.
to raise your camera?
We're filming. We're talking
Okay.
about
Oh,
talking
okay.
about policing.
Let's go back.
Yeah, the idea of of policing and police tactics is an interesting subject. I don't want to get too into that,
Right.
but you took your service to the community
Absolutely.
seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just to go back for a little bit, when we was talking about the height thing,
Yeah.
I went to the academy, the state academy up in Pearl, and at that time it was only an 8-week class. They rode me for 7.5, trying to
Wow.
run me off. They didn't realize when I grew up, as I was coming up, that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to do. That was in my blood. So 7.5 weeks they rode me, but the day I graduated was when I got everybody's respect. Because
Wow.
we did the pranks and we did this and we did that. And one guy in there, his name was Rocky, was his nickname.
Yeah.
He rode me harder than anybody. And it got to a point where, I told him, I said, y'all can do whatever y'all want. That's fine. My nickname back then was Smurf.
Oh,
If that
okay.
tells you anything. But it got to a
Well, you're wearing a lot of blue right now.
I like blue, man. It got to a point where that's cool, guys. Just give me all you got. That's fine. Got no problem. They could never get me mad,
Yeah.
ever. But the night before graduation was my payback. I paid every single one of them back. And it was so cool because we all met up after graduation and Rocky come up to me, one of the biggest tormentors up there. And he said, man, you're the biggest man on campus. I said, what are you talking about? He said, everything we gave you, you took it. And you waited for no repercussions that you could get us back because we were graduating.
Right.
So, yeah, that was good. But that taught me a lot to bring out to the streets too now. Because I didn't wear my heart on my sleeve when I was on the streets.
Right.
I treated the people the way I wanted to be treated.
Yeah.
I saw no color. I mean, we all got along really good.
Yeah.
And say we're talking back in the day where you could pull up on a corner, jump out, sit on the hood of your patrol car, and just chill with the people.
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about bricks coming at you, bottles coming at you, people walking around with, you know.
Well, the '60s were over at that point. But
yeah.
I get, you know, I get it. I mean, it was a, you know, there's a different way of policing in smaller towns and smaller communities and smaller cities.
Right.
You know, then you get into some of the bigger ones. Did you, you know, was it fulfilling being an officer of the law for you?
Absolutely. Like I said, I believed in those two words, serve and protect.
Yeah.
I always did, because it don't matter now. But the whole time I was there, I never wrote a whole book of tickets.
Wow.
I didn't believe
That's
in it
awesome.
because
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I was
yeah.
coming up,
Yeah, I know, getting tickets sucked.
dude, when I was coming up, I couldn't tell you how many tickets I got,
Yeah.
but I only paid for one. I had to pay for that one.
What, you know, that being said, being an officer during that time period and all of that, you know, what was one of the you know, what level of policing were you at? Were you a beat cop, like on the streets?
Yes.
Were you a
Yes.
patrolman?
Yes. I went under for a little while, and we did some special things because I was virtually unknown.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went under for a little while, and we did a detail, took care of that, came out great,
Yeah.
and except when I went to court.
Yeah.
You no, you know how that goes, isn't it? You. But no, I stayed. They call it in the bag. You know, I stayed in uniform because I wanted to be out there. I wanted to be with the people.
Another term, in
Yeah.
the bag, you don't really want to.
I know, right?
You
That
know what
other
I mean?
one,
The
yeah,
big
yeah.
house and in the bag.
In the
How about
bag,
neither?
yeah. Neither one, right?
What?
I lived in the big house and I was in the bag.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Corky. Thanks, dude. Thanks.
You know, doing that, and what was one of the more harrowing incidents that you had to deal with? Was there ever?
Oh my
you know,
goodness, ooh.
what was one of the more harrowing ones? You don't have to go into too extreme
No, I
detail,
won't go into
but-
too. I won't go into too extremes, but I was still a rookie, and it never happened to me as a full-fledged, but as a rookie, we responded to shots fired at the old Tivoli Hotel in Biloxi. Now that's after. I mean, you know, it's not there now because Katrina took it, but we responded to shots fired, and everybody came out of the woodwork. All of the cops showed up, and we get there, and to make it comical, the chief of police showed up. I'm not going to name him, but the chief of police showed up, and he hands me this Tommy gun,
Yeah.
and he says, "Here, Lou, hold this for me." So I'm holding the Tommy gun, and now this was the chief.
Yeah.
He gives me this Tommy gun. He said, "All right, let's go upstairs to take care of this problem." Well,
Right.
needless to say, the guy committed suicide.
Yeah,
right?
okay,
But still,
gotcha.
yeah, but still, he shot at a cop and then he committed suicide. But harrowing, yeah. And then there was some humor in it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
in the middle of it. And then
Right.
when it was all over with, you know, we all laid back and said, "What just happened?"
I
You know.
guess when you work, especially in the police force or any kind of high stress job, there's got to be an element of laughter and humor that has to be, you know, kept.
Oh yeah, you got to, man. You got to let it go. You don't take it home with you.
Yeah.
There was two of me. As soon as I strapped it on, I never considered myself better than the person that I was policing, in other words.
Right.
But I had to hold myself to a little higher standard. Okay, I'm not gonna go speeding down the road and then pull you over for speeding.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy. But there was two of me, you know. I'd go home and, you know, I was still with mom and dad then, but I'd go home and they'd, you know, pick my brain. And I always loved to share with the dad, you know. Dad was cool. He loved all. He liked it so much he joined the reserves.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was a
That's
reserve
cool.
cop. Yeah, yeah.
That's really cool.
But, you know, mom always worried. She
I'm
would have
sure.
rather me played football at my height.
Right.
You know how they are.
Well, yeah, but if you had a hard time getting onto the police
I
force,
know.
you guaranteed you wouldn't be playing football.
Thank you. But no, you got
Water polo, maybe.
Hey, yeah. But you got to draw the line.
Yeah.
And that's in anything, you know. And to go back to it, like I said, I still, when we were coming up in that time, I still believed in those two words. Serve and protect. You know, I was there to serve the people and to protect the people.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of my patrolling on the east end of town where I grew up. I did it in the east, in the west, in the north.
Yeah.
Can't go further south than Highway 90.
Well, unless you got a boat.
Yeah, unless you got a boat. But no, it was good, man. It really was. And later on down the line, politics got in the way, and you can't put politics and law enforcement together.
Gotcha.
So I said, adios.
Gotcha.
Didn't retire. I wish I would have retired, but
Yeah.
didn't retire, but adios.
Well,
You know?
that said, what was it like leaving something that you loved so
Oh,
much
it
and
was-
just going into
that
the
was
regular
hard.
rigmarole?
That was hard. Because like I said, it was in my blood. It's still in my blood.
Yeah.
You know, they got the old saying, you cut me, I'll bleed red. You cut me, I'll bleed blue.
Right.
Because we lost an officer last year in Biloxi. And I got a hold of the chief. And him and I are really good friends. And I told him, I said, I sent it in a text because I didn't want to take up his time.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, even though I don't wear the badge, I still bleed blue. That was a brother.
Yeah.
And it still saddens me. I don't care if it's in Okie-Batoki or whatever.
Right,
If
sure.
I hear an officer down and an officer got killed, it still hits me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're still brothers. Like I said, I don't wear the badge,
Yeah.
but I still bleed the blue.
Yeah, of course.
Always. And I've carried that everywhere I've been. And I try not to be better than you.
Right.
I never tried to do that. I
Yeah.
tried to stay on a level to where I know what was right and wrong. You're not going to bring me down with you.
You know, yeah, and that said, did you get that part of your character, that part of your personality? You think that was derived a bit from your dad's time in the military, how you were brought up? Was there something around that? Because it seems like, because like you said, you went wild a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you were like, wait a second, hit the brakes, get myself squared up.
Right.
And like do the right thing,
Yeah,
make the
yeah,
right
yeah.
choice. I mean, that's a big,
Yeah.
action to take. Somebody has to have a strong character to jump horses in midstream.
Exactly. I wouldn't even know what to liken it to because, like I said, growing up where I grew up, it was as tough as we made it to be. Okay, just like any childhood. But I tell you what, when I went to my 10-year class reunion, and they found out I was a cop, there again, you.
Right.
Because these kids I grew up with, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, some of them were my best friends that I grew up with, and we hung out after school,
Yeah.
not just the friends I met in school. So they're the ones that ran with me, if you
Yeah.
will, okay? And nobody knew for that 10 years.
Right.
Nobody knew. Even though I was in a uniform in a police
Right,
car,
sure.
you know?
It's funny. Well, at least you never had to arrest one of your old friends.
I can't say that I did. I can't say that I did.
Did you ever have to give one a warning?
I don't even think I messed with them.
Yeah.
I think they stayed away.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it got as bad that I even pulled over my own mom.
Ooh.
But it was just a joke.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's a
it
good
was
one. That's a good one.
Oh, believe me, I heard about it. I heard about it. They always say he's so mean he write his own mama a ticket.
Yeah.
I pulled her over, blue lighted her the whole 9 yards. I mean, I think she was in front of her work. I don't remember.
Oh,
but
that's so
I heard
funny.
about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
bet you did.
I get out before I'm all, and as soon as she looked in that side view mirror and seen who it was, I thought she was gonna take off.
Yeah. Oh, thank God
That
she
would have
didn't.
been bad. That would have been bad, you know. But no, I learned a lot, you know, and it taught me not to be judgmental.
Yeah.
There again, like I told you, I don't see color.
Right.
I don't. They're all brothers. They're all sisters, and I treated them the way I wanted to be treated.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to use this vernacular, but I had 2 rules of thumb.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number 2, everything is small.
Yeah.
You kill them with kindness, and you fill them full of BS, and they'll eat right out of the palm of your hand. I've had guys put handcuffs on themselves
Right.
because it was apparent. Let's go to the Chad, how big he is, right?
Right.
Okay, how tall he is. And I'll look at him, I said, it's apparent you want to fight. And it might be apparent you're going to win.
Yeah.
But you will know you were in a fight. And take me in. And then you put the handcuffs on. I mean, because like I said, I did. I gave to them what I wanted back.
Yeah.
I didn't give what they wanted because it'll escalate and get out of hand.
Well, how is that?
We don't
How
wanna
is
go
that
there.
level of commitment and everything? How's that been? Have you been able to apply that successfully to different trades that you've had to take on since you left the police
Oh yeah,
force?
my father and I went into private investigation. We
Okay.
did that for quite a while.
That's cool.
And, oh yeah, it was fun. B&B investigations. Blomberg and Blomberg.
Yeah.
Don't try to say that. But anyways, we did that for quite a while, and I got into At that time, they did call it bounty hunting, for bail, with the bail system. But now they call it bail enforcement.
Okay.
But Dad and I we contracted out to go pick up these guys. And I take him with me. That was fun.
Heck yeah.
And after the thing there, I went in and worked on an ambulance for quite a years. I worked on an ambulance for almost 10 years. So I've been in the field over 20 some odd plus years. Yeah. Going from law enforcement, EMS, out of EMS, went into the legal bail bonding business.
Yeah.
I was a bail enforcement agent. And believe you me, bud, they
No
ran
joke.
from me more. Wait,
Oh.
they ran from me more as a bail agent than they did as a cop. Because look, you see blue lights, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Oh my goodness. You might be going to jail.
Yeah.
You see me, you are
Going
going
to
to
jail.
jail because you didn't do something right. But out of that, there again, I carried my law enforcement knowledge and background with me to that.
Yeah.
So I treated everybody I picked up, never gave me no lip.
Right.
Just because of the way I did it back then. And of course, after Katrina hit in 05, that's when I went into the legal bail part of it.
Gotcha.
And when I say legal, licensed, bonded, the whole 9
Yeah.
yards. And I did.
And what about the big house? Did you?
Oh, the big
what
house
happened?
disappeared.
That disappeared
It
in
disappeared.
Katrina.
Oh yeah. We wrote it out in Katrina, but it disappeared.
But it was gone after Katrina. There was no more big house from 1890.
No more big house from 1890.
What was that like? Losing that house.
Let me tell you what. I think out of all of us, I kind of took it the hardest. Even though it was my mom, she had 68 years of memories in that
Yeah.
house. Okay. Because I love that old house. I'd have done anything to have gotten that old house. I told my sisters, I said, be glad we didn't have the house when Mom passed.
Yeah.
I'd have sold a kidney to keep that house.
Right.
Because, you got two sisters to contend with. So I'd have sold a kidney to keep that house. I don't care what y'all come up with money. Here's mine.
Yeah.
Here's mine. But no, I could close my eyes right now and tell you exactly where everything is in that house.
It's amazing.
Everything. But yeah, we wrote it out. We were one of the crazies, if you will.
Right.
Because Mom said, well, we made it through Camille.
Right.
And one of the weathermen said they likened it to Camille.
Right.
So she's the matriarch of the family. Dad passed February of the same year.
Yeah.
So it hit in August. So she's the matriarch of the family. I come home from riding around, and I found out later that had I known it was the last trip, I would have taken the Camaro and not the Lincoln. I took the Lincoln. But anywho, I get back, and she's still calm, collected. It was on a Sunday, right? She was still calm and collective. I said, what you doing? And she was packing a little ditty bag to go bag, right, if you will. We always kept go bags.
Yeah.
Just for that reason. But she was doing food and non-perishable stuff like that. I said, well, if you want to leave, we can leave. We're good. No problem. We're good. I'm like, okay. Well, it kept going. And I remember she told me as a kid, Hurricane 47, they didn't have a name for it. 47, the water came up to their gas meter.
Right.
So here I am looking out, hey, Mom.
Water's up to the gas meter.
But I told her, I said, we kept in touch I kept personally in touch with 5 different people.
Yeah.
Okay, just to let them know what was going on. And the last one would say, you're nuts. You're staying there. So I said, we could still get out. We had a place to go. Not a problem. We could come back an hour later. We could still get out. Got a place to go. Come back again. I said, well, we can get the Lincoln out. Lincoln's it's higher than a Camaro.
Right.
And we've experienced rain floods down there, so we knew how to drive around. Right. So it got she never wavered, dude. I mean, she was a grown-up, an adult mom in 69. I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
But she never wavered. We're fine, son, we're fine.
That's faith.
Okay, oh yeah. Well, it got to a point where we're talking 12-foot ceilings in this house.
Yeah.
We were on the second floor, 12-foot ceilings in this house. And she turns to me and said, son, I got water on my feet. Camille reference.
Yeah.
4 foot of water came into the house. Dad measured it to the street, 28 feet. Well, when I saw our 4 foot watermark disappear, son, I got water on my feet. I'm like, oh my God. Well, that's when I made, the last phone call I made was to 911. And not to come get us.
Yeah.
Just to
let
let
them know.
y'all know somebody's here. After it's over with. But I shared with Chad that I asked for someone particular in this water up to here.
Yeah.
I'm on 911. Hey, can I speak to Joe, please? Hang on. Okay, hang on. So I'm on hold, treading water. Needless to say, she talked to me because I told her, I said, we're fixing to die. I just want to let you know somebody was in this house.
Yeah.
I just point blank sped it out.
Yeah.
She says, no, this is what you're going to do. She explained to me what they want to do. And I said, okay, cool. And I told everybody, I said, after that was done with that phone call, when I knew my mother was safe, I just chilled out because she couldn't swim. I could.
Yeah.
I just chilled out. We rode it out for 12 hours, dude.
It's crazy.
12 hours. And I hate to admit it, but I messed that poor child's mind up because I was told later that I was the only person, or one of the only persons that called into 911 that they put a face to.
Right.
Because they all knew me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many got on the line at the same time that I was talking to her. But as soon as I hung up, the girl that was in charge, she looked out at the room and said, guys, that was Lou, and that was it. It didn't sound good. So,
Wow.
look, I'll just put it to you this way. That gave us a ride that Walt Disney couldn't have touched.
I bet, dude.
Because we told Dad, Pop, I miss you. I love you. I wouldn't mind a reunion, but not right now. We got things to do.
Should have been building an ark.
Yeah. But the only reason we stayed was because of her.
Yeah, of course.
That's
of course.
it. That's the
of
only reason I
course.
stayed. And I'm so happy she survived.
Absolutely.
Very happy she survived because I got 2 siblings that
Yeah.
would have ate my lunch.
Yeah, I mean, having gone through all that, what was like putting the pieces back together after
Oh man,
Katrina?
it was. And you're not gonna believe this, but where we wound up the next day was a Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Because those pictures I shared, I'll have to show you one in particular. But there was a oak tree that reached out and stopped us from hitting another house.
Whoa.
And this was a childhood friend of mine that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Hit one of the good ones. Yeah, he's done really good. But childhood friend of mine that I grew up with. And I told Mom, I said, Ma, we're Michael's next door neighbor. Because we were right in his front yard. Okay.
Wow.
So the day after, Mike let us stay in his house. We didn't want for nothing.
This one just dropped. Was that the close-up? Was this the 2-shot? That was the 2-shot?
This is the close-up.
Okay. Let's keep going with the 2-shot for now, and then shoots what you can with that in terms of 2 shots. You can move it around a little bit. That's 2 shots. Yeah, shoot what you can with him in terms of like getting this angle.
Let me edit this out. Don't shoot me!
This is,
All right. But
the chaos is all part
I know,
of the
right? Hey, we're doing
the
good.
script.
But no, we didn't want for nothing, Corky. No, I mean nothing. People were giving us stuff. That very day, I put on dry clothes. My boy had, his mother gave my mother clean clothes, dry clothes. And we didn't want for nothing the whole time. Now, I was watching people come in that, left, that evacuated.
Yeah.
And I felt a little weird, but I was watching these people. One woman screamed to the top of her lungs, my stuff is gone. My stuff
Yeah.
is
Stuff.
gone.
Yeah.
And I got Mom. I said, there's my stuff.
That's right.
That's all replaceable, people. You're still breathing. And I guess because we wrote it out, we knew what we weren't going to find.
Right.
We knew the house was gone. We knew our stuff was gone. But I got what I wanted out of that. And we just took the next 10 years. She gave me 10 years before she passed. From 05 to 15.
Yeah.
Gave me 10 beautiful years. We had our own house. She was able to get a house because of the situation with the selling of the property.
Sure,
Because we couldn't
sure.
rebuild back
No,
then.
of
They're
course
going to make her put that house 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, we looked at it different.
Yeah.
We got my truck. She got her car. We got a house. We got clothes. That was stuff. We didn't lose one family member, not one. Other people they lost lives. They lost relatives. We lost stuff.
Yeah. It's a
I mean,
blessing.
granted,
It's a
now
blessing.
Mom had, she put 68 years worth of stuff in a box that we found
sure,
later,
sure.
right? I mean, that was mine.
Yeah,
that was mine, that was mine.
Hilarious.
But no, it was stuff. That's how she and I both looked at it.
Yeah.
It was stuff.
Since then and since now, to come back full circle, what has it been that's kept you so so positive and motivated now in life?
Believe this or not. All right. Being the son, okay? You
Yeah.
got an older daughter and a younger daughter. Thank God I didn't have to do hand-me-downs. Okay, but being the son, there is, and I'll stand by this to the day I die, there is a different connection between a mother and a son than there is with daughters. Because you got estrogen fighting each other.
Right.
And I am proud to look you in the eye and tell you I'm a proud point cadet mama's boy. Because I love my mother, okay? But as far as going full circle, when she passed in 15, I got stupid. Because, that was my mom, that was my friend, that was my go-to, right? Because it was just her and I for 10 years. Sure, my
Right.
sisters were around.
Sure.
But 24 hours a day, it was us.
Yeah.
Right? And when she passed, I was to a point where I didn't care.
Yeah.
The sisters was talking about this, was talking about that. I say, okay, fine. Y'all want it, you can have it.
Yeah.
You know what I want back?
Yeah. Exactly.
I want mom back, So we got rid of the house, got the proceeds from that, gave it to my older sister. We didn't give it to her, we sold it to her. And bought me a trailer. Truck already, Katrina bought the truck, and I came out here. Well, I hung out for a little while, then I slipped off into a pity party, poor pitiful
Sure.
me. And just when I thought it just ain't gonna happen, because I only answered to two people, Mom and God, and now I only answer to God, right? That was her biggest voice right there, okay? And then one day I get a call, can you come to work? Of course, I live here, can you come to work? And from that day on, that woman gave me a reason to wake up. A reason to step out of my door. I stayed in there like a bat cave or something, like a hermit. I'd come out at dark,
Right.
And go grocery shopping, go whatever. But I stayed in there. But she did. She literally gave me a reason to wake up, get out, put your clothes on, and go do something. Get back in touch with the world. Friends of mine thought I passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, I just disappeared off the face of the earth. My sister came out here and took a picture one day with us, and she put it on Facebook. Yes, people, my brother is alive. and she got so many hits on that one picture, it wasn't funny. But no, out here, you've experienced it the short time you've been here.
Sure.
It's just so laid back. And I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the people that I work with, especially the manager we have now.
Yeah.
And you know.
Yeah, me.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm not saying that if she was standing in
Okay,
front
I
of me,
know,
I'd
I
say
know.
it.
Of
You know
course
what I
you
mean?
would, of course you would.
But yeah, I enjoy it a lot, and I love people.
Yeah.
And I'm a people person. Now, sometimes I might let this go a little bit much, and then the foot goes up in there, and I taste on it a little bit,
Keeps us human.
Yeah, I've had to learn when to say it and who to say it to.
Yeah, of
and
course.
then what not to say.
Oh, yeah,
and
for
who
sure.
not to say
For
it
sure.
to.
Absolutely.
But no, she really did, Corky. She when she came out, 6 months she's been here.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced something that's so compassionate
Yeah.
and so much fire, because she's never done anything like this. She ran her own business, sure.
Sure.
But when she got here, she taught me the business side. Even though I've been out here for 4 years, she taught me the business side, the real business side. And I was able to share the RV side.
That's great.
So
That's
now
really
it's
great.
like, yeah, even though we do this sometimes.
Sure, that's gonna happen.
But we gel, man. We almost finish each other's sentences sometimes. Or she, we go to do something and she thinks the same thing. I'm like, oh.
Well, seeing the positive, how positive you are now and all that and everything that you've been through over the years, what kind of what kind of advice, would you give, whether it be spiritual or some kind of intellectual or some kind of emotional? What kind of advice would you give to somebody out there who's maybe just lost that dream job or just leaving that dream job of being a fireman, or being a cop, or being maybe out of the military, not being able to re-enlist or something, to get through and do all that? What advice might you give somebody who was at a time when everything was changing and they had to change with it?
I'm gonna jump into this part. I'm gonna tell you to believe who you believe, pray to who you believe, okay? Because me personally, I know there is a God.
Yeah.
Because you are looking at hold up now.
Yeah.
You're looking at a true miracle, because man's law, Katrina, man's law, we should be dead. They told us to get out. I'm serious.
Yeah.
We come next. Look, the whole time I was in the field, I've only looked death in the eye once, and that's when I looked in her eyes. So, man's law. God's law said, you're not ready. Okay, so, to go back, talk to who you need to talk to. If you get in a way to where you want the true answers, go to a friend, go to a relative, go to a sibling, go to whatever, right? Relative, sibling. And then there again, believe in who you believe. Pray to who you want to pray to. But don't ever look life. Don't ever take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Take it as a gift. And you can attest to this. Don't worry about what happened yesterday.
Right.
It's done. Today, you've heard this, maybe not. Today is the yesterday Today is a tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Think about that. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. So sure, you're going to learn from yesterday, but don't go back and say, well, you did this and you did that and that. Well, today's today. I'm going to learn what I did yesterday and try not to do it again today.
Exactly.
But don't ever give up, man.
Exactly.
And to go into what you're doing, love everybody, brother. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
I don't care. I don't look at color to go back, like I told you. I look at who that person is.
Exactly.
Okay? And I might not come straight out and tell you, yeah, I love you, man. I only did that to one true man. That was my dad. I love my dad. Now, I got friends that I'll tell you, I love you, man, and mean it.
Yeah, exactly.
But stop all this unnecessary baloney.
I know.
Dude. Come on.
I know.
I mean, look, the road you traveled and the road I traveled are almost the same doggone roads. It was just different circumstances.
Sure.
Because you shared a little bit with me where you came from and how you come up.
Sure.
The big house. But, we're not different.
No.
And if you don't mind me saying this, the day I met you, I didn't see celebrity.
Right.
I saw a human being walking up and down the streets, talking to his brothers and his sisters, and no swelled head, and this BS about you not being famous. Corky, people know who you are, okay? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Put it this way, my boss backflips, Google, it's cool.
Yeah,
man.
that's cool.
But
That's cool.
no, to go back, and I don't know what you share with it, but just stop worrying about all the BS, because there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
Don't worry about what happened yesterday. Don't worry about who did what to who yesterday. Take that as a lesson. Take it today, and I'll go off of what my boss says. She lives every day as if it's her last day.
Right.
I finally started waking up, and there again it goes back to who you believe and who you want to pray to.
Sure.
But I finally started waking up and stopped saying, what you gonna do for me today? I said, what can I do for you today?
Yeah, there you go.
That's how it should be.
That's actually a great one to end on. Right?
There you
That's
go.
a great one to end on right there
There you
for people to really chew on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not what can you do for me today. It's what can I do
for you
today.
Absolutely. And that, Corky,
And
real
that's-
quick, that would go
that's the
along
goods.
with even your people,
Exactly.
your friends, your neighbors.
Yeah, everybody.
I don't care what you can do for me. What can I help you with?
That's right.
And that's what I do out here. What can I help you with?
So, next time you're at an impasse in life, think what can you do for someone else before what can someone else do for
Exactly.
you, my man.
Thank you,
love
sir.
it.
I love you too,
Love
brother.
it.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
That's the business.
Woo! Go away, Courtney.
Ah, there he is. Brother, thank you
Thank you,
again.
brother.
Thank you again. I love it.
Love
I
you
love
too,
it.
brother.
I'm gonna see you soon.
Yep.
Don't stay there all day.
I won't.
Yep, we're gonna be out of here soon. Enjoy yourself. Love you, man. Love America tour.